Ladies or idiots is my father.
It's me. It's the Poddamn Idiotz podcast.
Space is the final frontier. Then this is just the pit stop at the rest area that is near. It's the Poddamn Idiotz podcast. It's the Poddamn Idiotz podcast. It's the Poddamn Idiotz podcast. It's the Poddamn Idiotz podcast in your ear. Poddamn Idiotz.
Poddamn Idiotz.
From the Henplex Studios in Battle Creek, Michigan, and a random room that is covered in glitter in San Marcos, Texas, this is the Poddamn Idiotz podcast.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us at the Poddamn Idiotz podcast. Before I introduce the hosts here, I want to throw out a couple of things. One, I've been asked about our podcasting schedule. So, for those of you that listen to the audio, we drop on Mondays. On Google Podcasts, for whatever reason, it drops on Wednesday. I don't know why. That's just the way they do it. But you can get it anywhere else on Monday. As far as the YouTube goes, Tuesday, the next day. So if you want to see us idiots on video, Tuesdays, YouTube, Poddamn Idiotz Podcast. Audio, Podbean, Spotify, Google, Apple, Poddamn Idiotz Podcast. Subscribe and follow. But who are you following exactly? Well, I'll tell you right now. Over on one side of the room, with the beard and the bald head, he is the financial guru. He is Jay Hizzle. Over to my left, he is the weird guy who I'm not sure what he was laughing about. Maybe he looked down in his pants. I'm talking about Captain B. Slow. And miles upon miles away, he is the enforcer of the group. He is Texas. And of course, you know, the self-proclaimed leader of the group, the Ric Flair, if you will.
Woo!
Self-proclaimed.
Woo! Rick Spade.
All right.
All right, so I got to tell you what I was laughing about.
Okay. And
All right, I had my headphones off, so I can't hear anything. I can't hear the music. I can't hear what's going on. You look over, people are just dancing. Justin's over there whispering, and it's just hysterical. Like from an outsider watching, they're gonna be like, "What is wrong with those guys?"
they say that no matter what.
It was good.
Like watching a TikTok video without the audio. You just look stupid moving around.
I was just wondering, what is Texas the enforcer of?
Well, see, in the Four
The
Horsemen,
Scorpion Killer.
we are the Four Horsemen of the group here. So, you know, you have your enforcer, Arn Anderson, and to me, that represents Texas.
Is it because I'm the fatter of the four of us?
I enforce laws.
Well, you know. Then, you know, of course.
I mean,
Ric
I'm
Flair.
sure I could lay down a wicked spine buster.
Well, you know. Then you got the Ric Flair, Rick Spade of the group. So, you know, me. Then, of course, you got the Tully Blanchard, the brains kind of the operation. So that would be Jay. And then you have the Ole, the Barry Windham, the Sting, the Sid Vicious, basically the interchangeable member of the group. Me.
Interchangeable.
How
Interchangeable.
is he interchangeable? What can we
Explain.
I mean,
I wouldn't be the same without him.
I don't know. I mean, we got 3 other people we could replace him with in the back. They're just kind of clamoring at the bit to get on the show. So,
They look it.
anyways, moving on. But thank you for joining us. So, what do we got today there, Jay Hizzle?
Oh, it was quite an
I'm
eventful
not
week.
interchangeable.
You're not. You're more like Ole the goalie. Can't be replaced.
There you
I was
go.
happy that you got my reference.
I know who Ole the Goldie is.
Way back in the 90s. Olaf
Godzilla.
Yep,
himself.
he was good.
Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so
But he wasn't good enough to beat the Red Wings.
He
No.
got swept.
almost. I mean, he was the team though. Like
Yeah.
he was amazing. I like Olaf Kolstik, so he was one of my faves. But so I got a fun phone call during the weekend from my good friend Amanda in Wisconsin, saying she was going to be in the Chicago area to pick a friend up and want to know if I wanted to meet up. However, Chicago has like nothing you can really do there because a lot of stuff's closed, or obviously there's been events going on. And believe it or not, so she likes to hike and do nature stuff. And I found by Gary, Indiana, of all places, the Indiana National Dunes Park. And it is a super nice area. Like the hiking there is amazing. You can go to the beach because it's on Lake Michigan. It doesn't feel like you're by Gary or a big city or anything. And so, yeah, we met up and spent about 6-7 hours hiking and went 11 miles. I wore old shoes. That was stupid on my part because I did get some blisters. And she had these amazing hammocks, however you want to say it.
They're hammocks.
So
Hammocks.
I don't know.
The old hammock.
Hammocks.
And
You call him the brains of the group. Hammocks.
I'm not good with names or spelling. So the bar's set really low. I'm just kidding.
Okay, B, you're
Well,
telling
that's-
me.
But
That's typical Harper Creek education right there. Spell cat. K-A-T-T.
could be someone's name. But yeah, so these hammocks are amazing. So you literally just string them up between two trees.
How
and they're-
hammocks usually work.
Yeah, but normally you have to like the netting and they're big and you got to like screw a bolt in or something. But they have these ropes you just tie around and you hook them on, and it's made of parachute material, so you cannot rip it. Like I was thinking, great, I'm gonna
Challenge accepted.
I thought I was gonna go sit in it and rip it. No, I did not sit in.
That's what I would do.
I ripped it as a
I go,
toy.
what was that?
Jay, have you
So-
never seen a 90s cartoon with a hammock tied to two trees or what?
Yeah, but this is real life, and we were able to stack them on top of each other. So like I got in the lower one, and she got in the taller one.
So she was on top.
She was on
So
top.
she likes it on top? Okay.
Yeah, she's more flexible and able to get on top.
You heard it here, folks. Justin finally had her on top.
But no,
Amanda, we're sorry.
Do this, huh?
I pray she doesn't.
If
Love
Justin
you.
has a black eye next week, we know why.
I won't see her for a couple weeks. She'll forget by then, hopefully. But
I'll remind her.
But yeah, so it was really amazing, and the campground was really nice. It was kind of quiet for a campground, but and it was a good time.
So was it quiet until you guys got on top with the hammocks?
But it was amazing.
It was amazing. We had a fun time. Okay?
And it was amazing. Okay, use your Trump voice. It was amazing.
It was amazing. We got in the hammocks, and they were the best hammocks ever. No one ever had as good of a time in a hammock as we did.
You're not making it any better. You're not making it any better.
Oh my God.
But anyway, it was a fun time, and then I haven't had like burgers for a long time at like a restaurant, but in Indiana, well, I guess a restaurant's even open here. I don't know,
Open on Monday.
but we went and got some meat, and it was pretty good. But so that was fun.
Rick and I griddled burgers today.
We did.
And then let's see here. Then work. Nothing to be concerned about, more than likely. But I had for the first time I got a CAT scan, and it was just all right. So I guess I'll go into it quick. So it was like a month ago or so. I had a really intense workout, and I'm pretty sure it's related to it. Like I was really dehydrated. I was stupid. So anyway, I had a slight amount of blood in my urine, which is kind of a scary thing. And so they just have to have me do a few tests to rule that it was just not anything bigger. But anyway, no issues or anything since then.
Well,
But
that's normal for me, so that's all right.
Well, yeah. But I mean, they checked my blood and all this other stuff. Kidneys are good. Everything is good so far. But, he's like, just to make sure, we just got to do a quick CT scan to make sure, no tumors or anything like that. And I've never had one before. I've never had an IV before. And it was quite interesting. So I get a little nervous and anxious when I go to doctor's offices. So as you can imagine, I was definitely anxious going into there. And yeah, the lady was really nice and explained like, well, we're gonna put the IV in, and then we're gonna take a picture first without putting anything in, and then the machine. So you're laying down, and you have to hold your breath because I guess when you hold your breath, that way you don't move when it's taking pictures.
Oh, you gotta be super still.
It's very interesting. So this machine says, take a deep breath. So you go, and then this light like slowly goes, like you're holding it for like 30, 40 seconds. And then it's like, breathe normal. So that's kind of interesting. I'm like, all right, hold my breath well. Don't mess up. Don't have a false breath. You know, like a false start in football. Because if you don't want to breathe too early. And then, you know, I was glad she didn't tell me it was one of the bigger needles they had to use to get what they inject in me. Because she's like, all right, big poke. Oh, okay.
I think they just had to like drink the dye or something.
Sometimes, but this one they injected in you because they need it to go through quick.
Oh, okay.
So because it goes through your kidneys and stuff. Like literally, it went through to my bladder within 15 minutes. It's crazy.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Well, so then she's like, just so you know, when we put the dye in, you might have a warm feeling. And she's like, some people feel like they're pissing their pants. Now, I just want to let you know, if you feel that way, you're not peeing your pants, so don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, then I'm starting to think, but what if I think I'm not peeing my pants and then I pee my pants because I think I'm not peeing my pants? And so then like, I'm actually, you have your hands over your head when you go in, and I'm actually holding the IV cord or whatever, so I can feel when the liquid starts to go through. And I'm like, all right, I'm not peeing my pants. I'm not peeing my pants. I didn't even feel like I was peeing my pants. I felt a little warmth, and that was it. But it was just a very interesting process. And then the table kind of moves you back and forth. You take your breath and hold it. And then, 20 minutes later, you're done. And I got to take a look. I have no idea what to look for, but nothing looked weird, I guess. I don't know. But because they have someone that reads it and sends it. And this is how messed up our healthcare system is. So if I were to go through our local hospital, which is in Battle Creek, it would cost, using insurance, which is a discount, cash would have cost $4,000. Insurance would have cost like $3,600. So my deductible is a little bit higher. So minus that and copay, I would have paid like $2,200 out of my own pocket. I went to a special imaging place. They only specialize in this. Their cash price, $365. I had to drive like an hour and a half to Flint. And they were super nice, good equipment. It just, that shows how messed up things are.
Was it like Hurley Medical Center or something?
It was the Greater Flint Imaging Center. Like, I mean, this is what they do. And it's just, the hospitals just overcharge so much because you know how they charge insurance companies a ton because they can. So
those doctors got to make $250,000.
It's crazy when you think about it. Literally, I paid like thousands and thousands less to get the same thing done. And it kind of disappointed me. Like, what's happening? So, and why would the cash price be more than an insurance price? Because then they don't have to deal with the insurance companies. You think they'd charge you less, but.
Well, plus the insurance is a guaranteed money. Not everybody has cash.
That's true, but sometimes billing insurance and then insurance will argue, and I don't know. And then you could have, if insurance doesn't pay it, then you got to try to go after the people, and that can be tough. But anyway, so it was a very eventful learning week. What about you guys?
I'm glad you're good.
Yeah, I think so, at least.
What's going on across the pond there, Texas?
I was called a divisive racist today. Other than that, not much.
What pond?
I'm sure there's some pond.
Would it be like
he's not in England or anything?
Would it be like what's happening downriver?
Because the Mississippi kind of goes that way.
What's happening downriver?
Nothing.
What's happening in the desert?
Working a lot, and then I got called a divisive racist today. Other than that, not much. I must be a sucky ass racist. I was married to a Latina for 12 years. I've got 2 half kids. I'm a sucky racist, I guess.
Wait, you only have half kids?
Not half or bottom half.
If you put them together, do they make one?
Have one.
do they come together like the Power Ranger?
It's morphin' time.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I have 2 mixed kids, but they have Latino and Caucasian in them.
Oh.
Mixed. Yeah, jackasses.
Yeah, I can't say anything. My kids are white and black, but you couldn't tell if you looked at them.
My kid's a plant.
You can't tell with my daughter either. She's as pale as me.
You did.
All right, let's talk about Brian's plant. He got a penis flytrap.
Yes, tell us about your penis flytrap.
My plant is carnivorous.
So what does it actually eat? Like mosquitoes?
Bugs.
Carnivorous.
bug flies in. It's like you've seen them before. They're like
Yep.
this.
Well,
A
like,
bug flies in and go boop.
will you let bugs go naturally, or do you have to catch them and put them in its area?
Bugs get attracted to them.
Oh.
See, he said
I'm
carnivorous, so he unzipped his pants to try it out just to see if it would close on him.
So I read that Venus flytraps don't close on humans.
No, they
They
do.
do.
They do.
I've had one before. I stuck my finger in it and I let it close around and then
All right, then maybe it just can't hurt humans or something.
no, the
Okay,
little teeth things on it aren't strong enough.
So what the people really want to know is, did you let it give you a little testicle tickle, or did you actually let it feed on the shaft?
I'm hoping that it eats mosquitoes.
I was
Because there's no shortage of mosquitoes.
I was wondering what you named it.
Venus flytrap.
That's original.
Venus McPenis.
I have not named my plant. He is new
Okay, yeah, you got to pick out.
since today.
So maybe someday Mitch can meet your plant.
Yeah.
They can have a play date.
Yeah, they can grow together.
They can stare at each other and not
Yep.
say words or move.
Yep.
Well, mine might move.
Yours might move.
Yeah.
Mine might eat something.
Mine shouldn't. Mine grows pretty fast when it's budding, which I don't know when that season is. But
Okay, you guys plan your plant porn date later, okay?
so Rick Spade? What's happening with you? Any interesting stories? Did you piss anyone off this week?
I pissed off the tech who drew my blood yesterday.
Oh, that's not a good person to piss off.
And
No,
they're sticking a needle in you.
well, you know,
I hope you pissed him or her off after.
They'll go for the biggest gauge needle they can get.
Oh,
never hit on your tech while she's getting ready to draw blood.
yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Little shit.
I mean, I was really nice. I was like, well, you know, your face looks pretty from, you know, the nose up. I can't really tell your face, so I don't know what's going on down there. If you got, you know, chin hair, and then you kind of jabbed that pretty.
You
hard.
did not say chin
You
hair.
didn't say that, did you?
How many pokes did it take to find your vein?
Only
20,
5.
30?
I was told I have beautiful veins. I'm happy about that.
No, in all seriousness,
I do
that
too.
didn't
You
happen.
can see mine real well in my body.
I did almost wreck on my way to Bees today, though. I don't know why, but everybody wanted Popeye's chicken. And they decided, hey, we can't get into the driveway. We'll just park out in the road.
Sounds like a good idea on a busy road.
Yeah, you know,
happens.
let's do it on a busy road and then not have turn signals on indicating, hey, we're all turning into Popeyes.
Do you know why you have pretty veins?
Because they're easy to see and get the needle into and they don't collapse.
You know why they're not collapsed?
Because they're big and strong.
Because you're not a heroin addict.
Oh, no, I'm
You're not
not.
sticking needles in you.
So, nope, I don't.
You get that bug, Josh. You get
away
it.
from
I
needles.
got a fly just buzzing
Rick,
around me for no
You
reason.
need a Venus flytrap.
Rick, did you really get your blood drawn this week?
I did get my blood drawn.
Did
this
you
week.
really have a hot blood drawer and you really hit on her?
I did.
And asked her about the hair on her chinny chin
You
chin.
didn't do that part, though, did you?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
part. Sometimes I'll stretch a little bit of the truth, but not
Just
a lot.
wondering. Because
It's for the entertainment value.
yeah, that's
The
just not.
entertainment value. of
Canoe
the
slap.
show.
That's not how you hit on girls, I don't
I
think.
mean, if Rick made all of his stories plain and forward, no one would watch us. Not that they do anyways. Hi, Mom.
Not true.
We got like 10 people that look once in a while.
Now look, in terms of audio, I believe we've had at least over 45 downloads. In terms of the videos, we've had almost 800 views, and we've only had 5
I
real
wish it would
episodes.
tell us who listened to them all the way through.
Well, you got to
And then
understand, some of those count as us. I know I at least watch or listen to every episode at least twice. So.
I haven't listened to one yet.
Captain B's like, I can't stand that podcast, man.
No social media. I'm not going to watch the show, even though it's on
Yeah, none of
YouTube. I
that.
mean, you know, it's okay.
I
we don't need
have-
to pad our numbers.
I've subscribed to us on YouTube.
Well, at least you got that far.
Oh, I'm subscribed to a few. people
I'm
on
contemplating getting rid of my Facebook, but I know I'd miss out a lot of stuff.
Life is so much better without Facebook. You don't have people attacking anybody. You're not seeing all the negative, everybody going after each other. It's just your life is better.
YouTube. I see a lot of positives online, though.
But then
Hmm.
I'm the only one that's going to be updating the Facebook page.
I'll
Anyways,
stay. I like to keep track of some peeps.
No,
Yeah, but you don't share our stuff on Facebook, Justin. I know you're ashamed of us.
I'm just mostly you.
Hey,
just
I'm ashamed of me too. It's okay.
I'm just kidding. After you said that you want to get a Dodge Challenger, I mean,
Actually,
I was-
today I got to drive my brother's Dodge Ram because he was fixing my truck.
ooh, those
Man,
are nice.
I'm gonna end up buying me a Dodge one of these days, either a
Oh, that
Ram
thing
or
got
a
a Hemi?
Challenger. I don't know if it had a Hemi or not, but it's been a while since I've been in a vehicle that had me pick me up and go on it.
Yeah, it was
I
parked next
step
to,
on that gas and shit.
parked next to a Super Beat Challenger today. I'm like, ooh, that's a pretty one.
Actually, I was talking to my mom at the open house I was at today, and randomly, maybe we're talking about cars a little bit, and she's like, you know what? I saw a Dodge Challenger, and I think I'd really look good in one of those. So, and then on the freeway, one passed us, and I'm thinking, Mom, that one's for you. Dodge Challengers are awesome, especially the ones with the Hemi.
So anyway, what's this about Tiger King?
Oh man, there's some news happening. So for those of you that follow the Tiger, most people have at least heard of the Tiger King. It's like one of the only positives come out of 2020 so far.
It's actually the only normal thing of 2020 so far, which is the
And it's
saddest thing in
not
the world.
normal.
All right,
Please
so
did they suck you into this bullshit now, Texas?
Carol
What the
Baskin.
fuck?
No, I have
Killed her
not watched it.
Husband whacked him. Convinced me that it didn't happen.
so
She whacked him?
So not to ruin it if you haven't watched it, but I'm just going to tell you that there was a lawsuit. Carol Baskin sued Joe Exotic before he got sent to jail, and she won $1 million case against him. However, Joe Exotic didn't have $1 million and didn't pay up or whatnot. And the courts finally, since he couldn't pay, awarded his arch nemesis, Carol Baskins. She got awarded his zoo. So the famous zoo that Joe Exotic ran at the center of the Netflix documentary has now been awarded to Carol Baskin.
I can't figure out how that works because he got rid of the zoo before the lawsuit.
Actually, I think during the lawsuit is when he got rid of it. And that confuses me a little bit because someone else seems to have ownership or at least control of it. But it is being appealed. But the judge at this current time gave Carol Baskins control of the GW Zoo in Oklahoma.
If I had to venture a guess, it's probably one of those things where they gave them what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. What word are you looking for?
I have no idea.
You know the rights to run the zoo.
Yeah, but he was part owner.
Right.
Mr. Lowe, I don't remember what his first name is, but
that's one of those cheap law tactics that people try to do, where they'll try to give ownership to something prior to or during a lawsuit, so that way it's not an asset that someone can try and take from them.
We'll see what ends up happening. But they said the ruling is yet another emotional blow to an already fragile Joe, who has spent the past 3 straight months in solitary confinement. Which does that mean then that he's been doing bad things? So he's been completely unable to defend himself. But
well, you gotta understand, he's a gay guy in jail. You know he's having fun.
Oh, I couldn't think of it that way. So the ruling on Monday awarded Baskin's Big Cat Rescue Corporation control of 16 acres of land in Garvin County, Oklahoma, that hosts the zoo in addition to several cabins and vehicles. So, and then the judge ordered the Greater Wynwood Development Group, formerly owned by Joe, to vacate the zoo land within 120 days, and they have to remove all the animals. So there's going to be some tigers on the open market apparently for sale.
And if not,
$2,000.
I would think that Carol would take all the tigers. That only makes sense since that's like what she says she does. But it is being appealed, so more to come. But
so stay tuned for Netflix's new series, Tiger Queen.
Queen, yeah.
It was proven that she forged her husband's will.
I mean,
she's crazy.
I won't mess with her because like she does what she wants. So, this is kind of exciting. So, at least me being an aviation fanatic, the world's largest electric plane took a record-breaking 28-minute first flight. Do you know how exciting that is?
Said it's electric plane?
Yeah, this is the world's largest all-electric plane. So it took off from a Washington State airstrip for its first flight, 28 minutes. I mean, I know
Like,
Did it run out of power
Yeah.
after 28 minutes
looks
and had
like-
to power down like a Tesla? Or
it
what?
looks like the thing probably seats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably like 12 passengers. So
how far did it
it's
go?
a
100 feet?
Single
I mean,
prop plane here. I mean, it
Is
just
it like covered in solar panels to keep it charged?
no. I think it was battery powered. So obviously they're gonna have to work on the range a little bit. But yeah, it was a modified Cessna Caravan. So kind of interesting.
electric cars can go, for miles. Electric plane, not so much.
But it's a significant milestone for the transportation industry and accelerating the electric aviation revolution, is what they said.
Not if
So-
your first flight, you can only go 28 minutes.
And a smaller plane took a 15
Hey.
flight in December, so we're getting
For
there.
most
Hey.
guys, going 28 minutes on the first flight is impressive. Okay.
That's true.
Any flight, really. So, but yeah, I just I like how you both have forget it. Anyway, I just thought that was pretty neat. So I like aviation news. And then someone decided, with social distancing and all that, it would be helpful to create new shoes for social distancing. So this guy made what's called cobbler social distancing shoes, and they are 2.5 feet long.
Jeez, clown feet.
Kind of. They look like normal shoes, and then like if you had a cover for a chainsaw attached to them. So that's what it looks like. So this Romanian shoemaker is promoting a social distancing with his latest innovation, size 75 shoes that are 2.5 feet long.
Don't try and run anywhere.
No. Definitely not. So
Be careful climbing. You can't climb stairs. Go backwards.
yeah, you would have to go backwards because he said,
Is the front of the shoe flat? Can you ski in
Don't
those
drive your
motherfuckers,
car.
or what?
that would be cool if they add a little. It looks like you could almost ski in them. So, but he said people were failing to social distance, so decided, I'm going to make something that helps solve it. Although I don't know how good he is at math because 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5.
Yes.
I don't know what he's going to do about that other foot.
So what are they supposed to like stand one foot in front of the other, spread out, and like a balance? Like, woo?
I don't know, but it's just kind of funny because these shoes are huge. Like they're normal shoes on the back, and then they stick out 2 feet, so you can't get that close to someone because you will literally like hit their feet or stab them or
I could
something.
still move my feet
see,
around
maybe
you
that's
and
why they
hug
did
you.
it, so that way they
Yeah.
can like be like, kick, no, don't touch me there. That is my no square.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the intention whatsoever. But
Like if I was under the table here wearing those shoes, I could literally stick it right up into you and go, "Hey, no square."
yes, actually, you could. So that's why we're not buying those shoes. Plus, they cost roughly $115 per pair.
All right. So do you
So-
want a cheap pair of off-brand Jordans, or do you want some no square shoes?
I'll just stick with whatever I wear now. I like Skechers. My brother makes fun of me for that, but I mean,
I like
they're
Skechers.
comfortable. I like them.
My kids make fun of me for wearing Skechers. They say I'm wearing old man shoes.
Why are Skechers old man shoes?
Makes no sense. They're
They're
comfy.
awesome.
They're awesome. I know.
And
Thank
they
you.
have style to them, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to just wear off-brand shoes because it was like, fuck it. And now that I'm older, I wear Under Armour, Fila, or Reebok. So
I like Reebok.
I
I mean,
like-
I don't have anything against the other ones. I just don't know them.
I
very
mean, my
well.
boots I wear are Danner, so those are really nice. My shoes are LA Gear, but
Ah,
my
I think I got a pair-
slip-ons are Skechers. Then my sandals are Under Armour.
Oh, you know what? My new days are Adidas, so I do got Adidas too.
oh, all day I dream about sports.
Let's see. My sandals are Skechers. My slip-on are Skechers. My tennis shoes are Skechers. My work boots, I don't freaking know.
They're the Sketcher work boots with the lights
Nah,
on
they don't
them.
make steel toes.
I think they make
Interesting.
steel-toed shoes.
They
I know
Skechers, I
Reebok
think they
does.
do. With the anti-slip soles.
do any of you guys? This is a funny question. Do any of you guys ever go to the library?
What the hell's a library?
That's a place that people used to go to.
Yeah, take
before
my
the
kid to the
pandemic to
library
get
and I'll
books.
check out a book once in a while.
Yes, I'm so proud of you. Good job, Captain B.
Isn't
But,
that where pedophiles pick up children?
No, I don't. That's the park.
How would
Oh.
you know?
Because I watch TV.
Right.
Taxi.
Yeah, you're one to talk. But sometimes I take my plant there to play. Okay.
Hey, kids, you want to see my
plant?
Why does he?
His name is Mitch.
Why does he have a plant on a swing and he's pushing it?
He's special. Let's go say hi.
Sadly, I could see that. I really could just gesture behind us. Wee, come on, Mitch. Yay!
Plants on a plate.
Well, so Emily Sims, because I'm not going to see, is Canella Sims? She's received the Guinness World Record for the largest book fine ever paid. Guess how much this book fine was?
Oh.
$345. And it's not.
Why is the book fine not just the price of the book?
Well, it's not even a book that she actually borrowed. She found the book called Days and Deeds. It's a children's poem in her mother's house that was due back at the Kewanee Public Library in Illinois on April 19th, 1955. That's when it was due back.
And they had that on record on the computer?
Apparently, the fine accumulated at 2 cents a day when she paid it 47 years later. It's the largest fine ever paid. Not the longest to be returned, but the largest fine ever paid. So apparently the longest ever returned was George Washington borrowed a book, The Law of Nations, from the New York Library after becoming the president and didn't return it. And the Mount Vernon estate returned it 221 years later.
Oh,
okay, how cool would that be, though? Like, yeah, George Washington was the last one to check this book out.
That book is cased and on display somewhere.
Yep, but I just thought that kind of cracked me up. $345. I'd almost just not return it, but
I'd be like, all right, I'll just keep the book.
I think she
Keep
did
the
it though,
building.
but probably for the Guinness World Record, I guess. So
That's true.
You're in the book now. And then you guys know that there's been some burglary and robbery and stuff happening lately.
No.
And
some.
And in Australia, it's no different than from the United States. So an Australian
Except
hotel,
for burning down your own town.
I mean, hopefully that's
Well,
not happening there.
they don't burn down their own town. They get bused to someone else's town and they burn that town down.
Yeah. Well, an Australian hotel said a burglar repeatedly triggered the security alarms at the business liquor store, and they finally identified on the security cameras who it was. Get this. It was a rare and endangered animal, the northern quoll. So, yeah, they had a northern quoll.
What the heck is a
Quoll? Some kind of maybe bird thing?
Is it like a big bird, a little bird? Can it like kick in the door on its own?
No.
Yeah, she big yellow bird.
Like a hawk kicking in the door. Oh, I'm here.
Oh, actually, wait, this might not be a bird. Oh, this is actually some kind of, it almost looks like a rodent.
Oh, kind of like what you would
marry.
marry.
Bushy tail. Oh, you're talking about that one. Yeah, not much.
That one, would you rather?
Okay.
Yeah, very
There it is.
interesting.
Oh, kind of looks like a Tasmanian devil kind
Yeah.
It does.
yeah.
It really does. Yeah.
A bird, Tasmanian devil. But yeah, so apparently late night calls from a business security company on multiple occasions let them know the alarms have been triggered at the hotel's liquor store. And it was a quoll. Every day at 2 o'clock, 3 and 4 in the morning, we get calls from our alarm company. I drag myself out of bed and go to the bottle shop, and no one was there, is what the guy said. So,
Hey, Jay, I'm pretty sure this animal's mad that you didn't know what the fuck it was.
oh, yeah. Rick pulled up a picture, and it is angry. Clearly, he likes having a drink at the hotel, Gibson joke.
Crikey! It's angry! It's angry! Crikey!
Get the boomerang, mate.
And then,
Monkeys?
yeah, so
What kind of
also,
monkeys?
like I said, the world, lots of robbery and things going. So here's what happened. Monkeys attacked lab workers, and they stole COVID-19 blood test samples.
So that's how it started. The monkeys, hey, we just live on their planet, right?
Exactly.
That sounds like the monkey's doing something other than stealing blood. work.
Local authorities said a lab technician was carrying 3 blood test samples for COVID-19 at Meerut Medical College in Pradesh when he was attacked by a troop of monkeys that quickly fled with the samples. One of the monkeys later was caught on video chewing on one of the stolen samples while sitting in a tree. So officials at the medical college said new blood samples were taken from the patients so testing could be completed. Medical experts have raised fears that the monkeys could cause the virus to spread more quickly if it is determined that the patients who are being tested were infected with COVID-19. But yeah, the monkeys came in, they attacked, and they were like... and then
Hey, Josh, can you make that monkey sound? For some reason, when I hear that, I can hear your voice making that sound.
But yeah, so
See?
let's just say that there was no monkey business happening there. They weren't fooling around.
So what you're trying to tell me is a couple weeks ago we had bears stealing shit, and then the monkeys were like, "Hold my beer," and they just like,
Yeah.
I'll
Don't
show
forget
you.
the cows.
Yeah, we have bears that are stealing stuff and stalking kids. We have peacocks taking over.
We have cow
We
stampeding.
have cow stampeding. We
Yeah.
have monkeys that...
Steal COVID.
Yep.
And monkeys tearing apart ATM machines.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's... like
Getting
they
horny
do
now.
on the Discovery Channel. But yeah, that is that is the important news of the week, I feel. I don't think there's much else happening.
No,
Nope.
No,
we
nothing
don't.
going on
Nope.
out there.
We
Me,
don't.
me and
Nope.
Brian do
It's
not
cool.
want to get started, or else we will
It's
get in trouble.
Mhm.
I'm-
Yep.
You know what?
Let's move on.
I think we should play. We should play a game.
Without headphones, just the dancing, it'd be hilarious, you know? 'Cause
Are
you don't
you-
know what's going on.
Are you trying to say that I look funny when I dance?
No.
I
don't
think,
actually know
I think all of us look funny when we dance.
We're all white men. We know
I-
dance.
I mean, if Justin had glasses on, he would look like the old guy from the
that
Six
life
Flags
straw?
commercials.
A life straw. What's that?
I can do the
filter it?
worm.
Cool.
It's pretty neat.
All right,
I can do the
are-
chicken dance. So
We already know your fishing story where you were dangling it on the old hook there. We don't need to talk about your worm again. Anyways, it's game night. Game of the week.
all right, what do we got?
Game of the
Do
week.
this.
It's time for another lovely round of bad people.
Rick.
So,
Oh, sorry. I was just
We-
guessing it
we-
was
we-
you.
Bad people.
Jesus.
There's a deck.
There's the deck, and then there's the other deck. I did the not safe for work, and almost every answer's me, fuckers. Anyways, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pick a card.
Taxi.
I'm gonna read it off. We're gonna vote between the four of us.
Yeah, that's where we find out
Which
you
person-
use the taxi as a bus.
You leave my bus taxi alone.
You
All
should
right.
leave it
We'll
alone.
get that shirt, Josh.
I want that shirt. I want a shirt of a bus that says taxi on it.
It has Rick in it and the little kids in it.
You're waving.
That would make it better. Yeah, Rick on the back of the bus.
I'll drive it though. I want to drive a bus.
The kid crying.
All right, what do you got?
What are we doing?
I feel like I'm gonna be
let's do bad
photoshopping.
people here.
All right, so we'll start with an easy one here. All right, out of the four of us, who is most likely to rat the three of us out if they were under pressure from the cops? I'm gonna go with
Jay
B.
Hazel.
Well, I'm gonna say
Jay Hizzle.
Jay
I was-
Hazel.
I was thinking Captain B because he is a cow.
Oh, I'd be the one trying to get you guys to talk.
So you would rat yourself. You would rat us out to yourself.
No, I'd be the investigator.
So we have a tie.
I guess you got to ask one of the three people you have
Hey,
locked in the
Chelsea.
back.
You don't seem excited.
Out of the four of us, who is most likely to rat out the rest of us if they were under pressure from the cops? It's a tie between J and B.
I picked Jay.
I pick B. Who do you think it would be?
Not he could be fucking rich.
All
He's gonna save his ass.
right.
I ain't rating anybody.
Should we
yet.
rock, paper, scissors for it? Or should we flip a coin?
I guess
Or
might
should we
as
just call
well.
it a
Oh,
tie?
you.
Call it a
We'll
tie.
call it a tie.
It's a draw.
All right, we'll go with the draw. What the hell? No one cares. Anyways, all right.
Our 10 viewers are going to be very upset that we don't have a definitive answer.
Yeah.
We're down to 9.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
It's just
it's funny because we were all being pressured by the cops. So now, if we were in prison, it's most likely to become someone's bitch.
Jay, you guys don't have a lot of faith in me, do you?
Justin.
Justin.
They want
You're
to
the-
rub
you're-
that bald head.
You're the quiet, pretty one here, so
I think I would end up being like the prison king. I'm gonna run that place.
you'd be somebody's queen, I'm sure.
I'm a businessman. I'm gonna
So
figure
you'd
it out.
be the king on top, huh?
No, there's always that person that like.
But we already said that you like to be on the bottom. So I mean,
Well, when it comes to bunk beds, I'm usually on the top because I don't roll in my sleep.
You're not making it any better.
But no, I feel like if I was in prison, I would somehow be ahead of the prison business. I'm not sure how, but that's how it's gonna happen. And then one of you
do him and give me cigarettes.
I mean, let's be honest. Captain B is
Yeah.
top. They're gonna be pissed at him. So if they're
Jay-
gonna want anyone their bitch, it's gonna be him.
But I
Jay
would fight.
Hizzle would turn into our pimp and try pimping all of us out for cigarettes.
Yep.
You want a dirty Sanchez from Rick Spade? 8 cigarettes, bitch.
Mustache ride from Texas.
Bring him over here, guys. I'm so sorry, Mr. Spade. I love you, man, but we need the cigarettes as currency because someone has pizza over there and I want it.
Well, he's trying to defend himself, but I think the three of us have agreed that Jay Hizzle's going to be the bitch.
It's fine. You guys will be laughing when we're in jail. Wait, we're not. I'm not made for prison, guys.
See?
I'm just kidding. Don't
proved it right
put me in there.
I love this game. All right. Out of the 4 of us,
Rick.
who can't go 10 minutes without looking at themselves in the mirror?
I was
Rick.
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 That's fair.
Rick.
It's true.
It is.
I know when you, especially when you go to the gym, you know, you're like, man, I got some guns. I'm looking today.
I do. I at least
I
take
got the
10
biggest
full
guns.
selfies.
Do you talk like Arnold when you do that? You should.
I got the bump. Yup.
Hello, lady. Look at me. I can palm some iron. Oh, Mr. Rick Spade. You're my hero.
Case in point, he would.
Did a come up to what was that?
Maybe. I don't know what age I don't know.
What age? Maybe we should change our answer from that one from Rick to Justin.
Age of consent?
Age of consent.
I don't know who works out at the gym. Anyway, what's next?
Oh, we did that one last week. We're not doing the hooked up again.
No.
All right. God damn it, we did
We
that
played
one too.
this game last week?
I thought it was a while ago.
Or-
Yeah.
Last time, remember these
Did you
answers
shuffle the
specifically.
deck?
I did.
Oh, boy.
Rick.
Rick.
What is it?
Most likely to take part in a bukkake.
Rick.
Rick.
I'm going to say Rick.
Justin, do not Google it.
I'm not. I've heard of it before.
How,
I don't remember what it is. And what I think about is not at all related to what it is. So, but no.
do you know what it is?
I don't need to know. I just remember it was in Cards Against Humanity or something once. So, but anyway, and I know you're likely to do it between the 4 of us, apparently.
That's fair.
So, oh boy.
Just remember, I'm giving, not receiving.
Oh,
Moving on. Who is most likely to run into a former lover and not remember their name?
Rick.
This sounds. I mean, I don't really have many former lovers, so I remember their names. Although I am the guy that, like, when I used to work retail, someone would be like, "Can you go see if you have this in the back?" And I go grab it, and then I walk and be like, "Crap, I forgot which person asked for that." So I try to walk close to different people, hoping they'd be like, "Oh, sir, you found it."
I'm gonna go with Rick.
I didn't tell you this, but
I'll
I
go with
know
Rick.
all my ex's names.
Do you?
I
I'm
do.
not saying exes. We're just saying someone you just screwed.
I know all those too.
Wow,
So it ain't me.
it's not.
I know
me.
all mine.
Texas.
I've only been with one freaking person. How can I not remember that person?
You tried to forget.
He tried to
Kind of hard
forget.
not to.
I guess that one doesn't apply to any of us. We're really good with Lovers' names.
Well, then you know what? I'll pick another one then. Fine.
Okay.
Most likely to appear on the no-fly list.
Rick,
Me.
you. Okay. Why you?
Every time I go to the airport, I'm the one that's already pulled aside and basically strip searched.
Oh, that's just because the girls like you.
It's dudes.
Dudes like you there.
Can we change the prison bitch answer?
Yes, we can. That was my selection.
Yeah, I know. You were trying to really sell us hard, but it didn't work.
Every time I go through, my name is flagged, so I'm going to say me.
All right.
That's fair.
Hey,
All right, we'll go Captain B on this one.
I don't know if it's just on my end or not, but there's a lot of lag right now in the computer with you guys.
It probably is.
It's
The-
jumpy a little bit. Everyone turn their Wi-Fi off.
No.
I did.
Oh, man, I'm part of the problem. Now I'm part of the solution.
Like all of a sudden, I couldn't understand what you guys were saying, and mouths were moving, but
Well, luckily I can hear
That might be on your
everybody's,
end because I haven't seen any issues here.
I've seen Josh freeze a little bit, but I could hear him just fine.
Yeah, it's on his end, we'll say.
video might freeze, but the audio will still be there, hopefully. And if not, I can always get Jay's audio later. So, all right. From the not safe from work. In this group, who is the last person one of us would want to have sex with?
Why would we
Why
want
would
to?
anyone in this group?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can pick a different card.
Yeah,
if
let's
you
go a
want me
different
to.
card.
let's go with a different card.
Who has stolen the most virginities?
Rick.
Rick.
I'm at 1, so
I have at least 5, so yeah, I guess we'll go with me. That's fair. I can live with that. I can live with that.
God, you hoe.
Those are just the ones that were virgins.
well, that's the stealing
That's
virginity.
what stealing virginity is.
Wait. So if it's stolen, does that mean it was not willingly given?
Brian,
That is not
arrest
what that
him.
means.
Oh, it was on a taxi. So. Oh, what do you got? And we'll do another one or two if you want. Maybe.
Might as well.
Okay.
I'm all for relationship.
Rick, I love you, but Rick.
I will go.
You wouldn't be with somebody if it wasn't for me,
I
asshole.
would go.
Oh, that's true. I'm not gonna say Rick because he gives good advice. He just doesn't take his own.
I'll go
advice.
Texas then, because Texas
Okay,
said to
so
go
I'm
with
not
him.
gonna say that. I'm gonna say Justin.
My advice isn't too bad. I couldn't save myself. Others.
See,
No,
that's not go to. Doesn't take his own advice.
Texas
That's
said
true.
no, so
I'm gonna go
I'm
with
going-
Josh.
Okay.
I'm stubborn.
Or Justin.
I'm going with
I'm
Texas.
going with Justin. Jay Hizzle.
What do you got, Texas? You've been quiet.
He said he went with
I
himself,
go with myself.
so I went with Texas then.
Texas it is.
I mean,
Because my only piece of advice is don't fucking cheat.
well, that's actually good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they can be coming to me for smells. He snores in bed.
Oh,
Don't fucking
okay.
cheat.
I snore.
He eats too much cheese. Don't fucking cheat.
Well, what's
I
wrong with
like
that?
cheese.
That's I would say to keep a.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
like
mean to.
cheese?
I didn't mean to
Yeah.
insult your cheese loving.
All right, we're gonna do one more.
One more round, and then it's time for something.
Plus, I had to
else.
pick myself because I had shit today. So
Brag about it.
All right. Most likely to take a shit us.
Rick,
Nobody, but I'll go with.
I'm gonna say Rick. Mr. Brookie.
I was gonna go with B because he's into some weird shit.
That
Anyways,
is, I don't think that.
Fucking weird.
If anyone wondering that voice that you've been hearing throughout the night, that's Chelsea. She's pretty awesome, and that's Brian's fiance.
She puts up with me.
She owns him.
She tolerates me.
you're her prison bitch. All right. Final round. Here we go. Most likely to talk their way out of a speeding ticket.
Justin.
I've done that.
Justin.
Yeah, Chelsea.
I have the booze.
I mean,
But Justin is a smooth talker, and well, he's kind of like a salesman in a way.
I have talked my way out of tickets.
So I'm gonna.
I've
go
never
with
talked.
Justin.
I've talked my way out of tickets. I've never talked my way out of a speeding ticket, so I know it ain't me.
I actually went on a closed road and I made the cop laugh when I told him I liked his light package.
That bridge is out again,
Is it?
so it's closed again. So you can do it all over again.
I only got one. Of all the times I got pulled over, I only got a ticket once, but that was fine. I remember I called my dad and I'm like, I got my first ticket. He's like, congratulations.
What was your
son."
ticket for?
I was speeding in construction zone, but I had gotten onto the ramp and I didn't realize it was construction
Congratulations
zone.
on your first ticket.
Yep. Whatever.
I have never gotten a speeding ticket. I've talked myself out of all of them.
Wow, I'm gonna knock on wood for you on that.
I've never gotten a speeding ticket.
I remember my first speeding ticket. It was a speed trap because it was 50, and then at the bottom of the hill it said 25, and it was snowing.
I
at the
wrote
top of the
5
hill.
speeding tickets in the last week.
Can you even get a speeding ticket? Are you pretty immune? Because you could flash a badge and be like,
I'm not one of those idiot cops that drives like a maniac.
okay.
I actually respect it and want to be safe.
I know he can flash a badge. We're in a cemetery, and he can get out of them not kicking us out.
Huh. Okay.
I wasn't a cop then.
You had a badge though.
No,
You did too, because you showed it, and we were ghost hunting, and yeah.
that was before I was a cop.
That was an honorary police badge when he was a kid.
Whatever.
That's one of those paper
It was
ones.
one of those sheriff ones that has your name on it and it said Brian. He's like, I'm an officer, and they're like, okay, Officer Brian. So it works sometimes.
It's funny.
Anyway, what time is it?
Wait, no, this is the last one.
Oh, there's one more. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
boy.
I'm premature.
Well, then I might go with you for my answer. then.
Whoops. Didn't mean to say it like that.
Most likely to masturbate in the bathroom at work. I'm going to go with B now. Premature.
Isn't work a cop car?
Yeah.
Oh, Captain B. I've seen it in the movies.
What kind of movies are you watching?
Super
Super
Troopers.
Troopers.
Oh, how fast he can get it.
Yep.
Well, so
30%. In work, we talked about this when I worked at Menards in the corporate office. There's a stat that said 30% of people masturbate at work.
Who got caught at Menards to where they had to be like, there's 30% of people that masturbate at work?
Oh, no, that was just a fun fact when we were talking about. Because there was some guy
That's a weird.
There's
fun
some guy,
fact.
I was in the bathroom stall, and I was like, that guy's in there again. He had some shoes they could recognize. Oh, it's amazing. Like, people, I don't know, it's because they always sit at their desks all day and they eat bad food down at the Wolf River. That's the restaurant there. But there's some larger people, and they explode in bathrooms. It's like, why is poop on the walls? Did the monkey come in here or what? Because you know how monkeys throw poop and go,
Oh, Josh explodes on the walls.
no, I can aim it. Thank you.
Don't use it like that while at his work.
that's why monkeys wear diapers.
All right. Well, I've learned stuff about you guys I've never wanted to learn, and hopefully I won't have to do this game for at least another 3 weeks. That was bad people.
All right, guys. It's time for our next segment that we like to call sports. Woo, go Blues, go Wings, go Sports. Texas, what do you got?
Take it away.
There really isn't a lot this week. Basketball has agreed to their 22-team playoff thing with some weird 8-game play-in situation.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did the Pistons make it?
I'm not 100% sure. Out of the 22 teams, I know 9 are in the East. The rest are from the West because I guess the 8, 9, 10 seed or whatever are too close to call, so they're doing an 8-game play-in or something.
Very interesting.
NHL, the NHL facilities are starting to open up so they can do their training camps for the start of the playoffs, which will be here in just a couple of weeks. And from what I read, after every round, they're going to reseed, which is kind of weird. I don't know how they're going to do that.
Oh, it's great. It's like they used to do it. So instead of having a bracket, it's going to be they're going to reseed then from the top seed will play the lowest seed, the second top seed will play the second lowest seed, etc. Instead of a straight up bracket where you might have some weird matchups like the current playoffs were. Like they used to do. Remember in the old days, they'd have seeds 1 through 8, and then after the next round, they'd reseed. That's how it'll be. No, it's gonna be good. All right, so back.
I always remember 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7. Whoever wins, if 7 goes on to win, and then they face 1.
Yeah, exactly. But in the bracket style, then maybe there's 1, 4, 3, and 2. If 2 wins and 1 wins, then 1 will play 2 in the next round. But that won't happen anymore. 1 will play the lowest seed possible instead of potentially playing the best team in the league in the second round. It's good. I promise you guys.
Okay. Other than that, the UFC has a pay-per-view event on Saturday, tomorrow night, with the main event being Amanda the Lioness Nunez versus Felicia Spencer for the Women's Featherweight Championship.
That'd be good.
Amanda Nunez is a badass. She kicked the living shit out of Ronda Rousey in the match she had against Ronda.
Mm-hmm. I tend to like, the women's fights better than the men's fights. A lot of the men's fights, they spend too much time on the ground. The women's fights are actually more entertaining.
Well, it depends on the matchups too, because it used to be in the original UFC, a lot of people were just brawlers, and then you had the wrestlers come in, and now a lot of the times you're putting up 2 jiu-jitsu guys together or a jiu-jitsu guy and a wrestling guy. So there's not a lot of diversity. So you don't get a lot of the same scrapping that you would back in the day.
And then in the co-main event, it's Rafael Asensio. I'm sure I said that wrong. And Cody Gabbert. So that should be a good one, too. I like Cody Gabbert. He's a pretty good fighter, I think.
Is he?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know my fighters very well.
On Sunday, looks like they're going to have another NASCAR race.
And I don't know if anyone saw last Sunday's race at Bristol, my favorite track. It's a small track. But the finish was amazing. I mean, I'm half sad, half happy because it was really entertaining.
Do you like amazing finishes?
I do. So Chase Elliott.
With them on top?
I mean, Chase Elliott was on the bottom of the track, I think. And Joey Logano was on top. And so what happened was Chase Elliott was going for the pass, and he got loose and slipped right up into Logano and took him out. And Brad Keselowski then snuck in for the win.
Slipped right up in him and snuck in for the win. All right.
It was a really good finish.
Sure Texas is really red right now.
I'm
just saying it was.
Okay, this is why my mom thinks Justin's adorable, because he's making us laugh. And he's got this
You have
straight
no idea what you're
face.
saying. That's the sad part.
I just described the race win.
Yeah, he got loose and the other guy slipped in for the win.
Not like, all right, they're side by side.
No.
You know what? You guys
said-
go on NASCAR.com and watch the replay.
You said one was on top, the other was on bottom. The guy got loose and went into him, and then the other guy slipped in for the win.
That because he was in third, thinking I don't have a chance, and Clint Boyer came in second, which was exciting.
Oh God!
Came in second.
Second place.
Okay.
And it was a rough night.
Because he came in second.
No,
Always
but
want the girl to come first.
there were no girls in this race. However, there
That
are
was a
some
sausage
girl
fest.
NASCAR drivers in the truck series. I like Natalie Decker. She's pretty awesome.
Okay, we're gonna move on from this train wreck.
And then I thought I was giving good sporting news, and Chase Elliott has the pole for Atlanta coming up this Sunday.
I bet he has the pole.
He has the pole. Okay.
Slip right in.
For those of you who don't know, the pole means he starts first.
Normally, the guy does start first. Yeah.
You
Anyways,
guys disgust me.
in
But we
baseball news, the Players. The players rejected Major League Baseball's proposal of an 82-game season with reduced pay. They countered with 114 games and no reduced pay. The owners rejected that, and from what I've heard, they're about to offer a 50-game schedule. So if baseball does not pull their heads out of their asses, we might not get any baseball this year.
Fucking players are greedy. You're making millions.
You hear that? All the worst teams got the World Series. Congratulations!
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, if any of y'all listen to this, screw you. Just play ball for the love of the game. Come on.
You're still
None of them listen to us.
Even the guys that don't get to hardly ever play are still making good money.
It's true. I'll be a bench warmer for $1 million.
Me too.
A season. Just a season. I'll warm that bench.
I'll warm it good.
And if you need me to run around a base or something, I'll be a base runner.
Yeah.
I'll have to learn how to slide, but I can do that.
And if you want me to
need
hit my
stare at a
balls,
ball
I
that
will
flies
hit my
by me,
balls.
I will.
On the.
So,
Never mind.
but yeah, that's gonna be something if they end up not playing because they want more money. I mean, I was sad when hockey had its lockout, but it wasn't really over money necessarily. It was over other stuff. But
Well, a lot of it was over the owners not wanting to pay.
and salary caps and structures of contracts and lengths and all that. But they're just straight out being like, I want more money. I only make 100-something thousand a game. That's not enough for me.
Speaking of hockey, there is some good news. The Quebec Junior Major League, the whatever the heck that is, the KJML, lots of freaking letters, are going to probably have fans in their stands in October.
Woo! That's awesome. Canada.
Eh?
I'm going to Canada.
Now, I know that hockey and Gary Bettman said that the 2020-2021 season will start on January 1st with the Winter Classic instead of starting in October like normal. Maybe in January you guys can actually be at a game.
That'd be pretty neat, actually. So, fingers crossed. We will see what happens.
Other than that's it for sports this week.
All right, that's some good sporting news. Thank you.
Wait.
Whoa, wait.
Can I throw out a couple sporting things real quick?
Yep.
I actually do have a couple things. Earlier this week, there was some issues with John Jones. He's been trying to get out of his contract with the UFC. He has actually relinquished his title to Dana White. So we got that going on. In the WWE, referees and stuff have taken a pay cut in the midst of this COVID-19 thing. So, they're trying to keep their jobs. Them and higher-ups are actually willing to take a pay cut, unlike the baseball players. And in local sporting news here in Michigan, they're about to do races in Galesburg on June the 12th, and they're allowing 1,000 people in the stands.
What?
Some Galesburg races, guys. What about Kalamazoo Speedway here?
They're limiting it to 1,000 people. So we're actually seeing some crowds here. We're getting there.
That's exciting. Yeah, hopefully Kalamazoo opens up soon, too.
We're the last ones to open, and we'll be the first ones to have fans. There you go.
All right. I like it.
Real quick, back to John Jones. I'm going to try to stay away from the stuff going on, but John Jones was out at one of the peaceful protests, and someone took out a can of spray paint and started trying to tag something. And John Jones took the spray paint away from them and basically told them to get the hell out of here. So
good for him.
Gotta give him some credit for that one.
Yeah.
I don't agree with some of his life choices, the multiple suspensions for cocaine and stuff like that. But on that one, good for you, Jones. All right, before we get in trouble, let's move on.
All right. I think it's time for the top 5. All right, today's top 5 of the week. What is your top 5 favorite video game consoles of all time? Let's start with Captain Beaslow this time.
All right. Not a big video game fan. In fact, the only video game
You suck!
I own right now, well, they bore me. I play video games for 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm done. Unless it's Rock Band, of course. That was fun.
That was fun.
We had a lot of fun with that Rock Band night. Number 5, GameCube. I actually love the GameCube. It's always weird little mini discs.
And it's shaped
But-
like a cube, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I liked it. The soccer game, the Mario Soccer. There's a lot of fun. Number 4, the Wii.
Get in, you have to go Wii.
I love the
We got
Nintendo
drugs.
Wii. And then, of course, hopefully this one has to be on everybody's list somewhere. The Nintendo 64.
That's a classic.
James Bond, GoldenEye.
And I
That's
remember
my number 3.
And do you remember?
I remember we used to play that in Justin's basement all the time.
Yeah, we did.
Yep, that one was actually on an Xbox, I think, mine. But we played GoldenEye at your house or Nick's
Yep,
house, and then
both. Yeah.
we used to play hockey. And I remember between periods, I always have to run and use the bathroom, and I'm like, the periods are only like 10 minutes long.
And it ticked down really fast. So it was literally like 3
Yeah.
minutes.
Uh,
Oh, and then we go number 2.
number 2.
Number 2, the Game Boy
That's a good one.
with the green screen. The original Game
Ooh,
Boy.
classic.
I loved that one. Number 1, the first video game system I ever had, and the only one I have now, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Like,
Favorite all-time game is Super Mario Bros. 3.
is that Nintendo or Super Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Wow,
The first one.
Nice. That's good.
That's my number 1.
I like it. All right, Texas. What do you got?
Well, Brian reminded me of a couple because I was just going to strictly go PlayStation because that's all I play. But given that, I will have to go number 5 as the Nintendo 64 because I do remember us playing GoldenEye and having pretty good time doing that. And
It was fun. I
yeah.
got a lot, but it was still fun.
I remember when we would they had like some kind of cheats in it where you could basically
Yes.
rocket launch yourself up to a little hiding spot with a bazooka or something. You could just take everybody out just hiding up there.
Invincible. You can use paintballs. Yeah.
Number 4. Growing up, I spent a lot of time traveling between Michigan and Texas because my mom's family lives down here, and we'd come visit them during the summer. And during that time, I spent a lot of time on Game Boys. Until it was nighttime, because then you couldn't see it until they came out with those little lights that went over the
Yes. I love
that went
those.
over the Game Boy, so you could
I
see at
remember that
night.
one.
So number 4 would be Game Boy. Number 3, I'll go PlayStation 3. I've always liked the PlayStation systems. They to me, they have the exclusive MLB The Show where you can create your own player and do a career. And I've got a bad habit of naming my players dirty names. Like I have a Jack Hoff.
A dirty
I-
Sanchez.
I have a Bend Over.
Mike Roch.
Right now, my son has
Them
one
Puck
that
days.
my son has one with the name of Da, last name Puck, Da Puck,
Okay.
because he can't say the F word, Da Puck.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, PlayStation 4. Same reason. I've always liked the PlayStation. I've never been one for the Xbox. And then number 1 is one coming out here shortly, and that'll be the PlayStation 5. I'm looking forward to that because I have the pre-ordered Assassin's Creed Valhalla for PlayStation 5, so I'll be getting both those at the same time.
Four's
No,
been
For's
out
been out for
for
a few years.
Five,
Jeez,
six.
so once I pay attention to video
I
games.
know. Same here. All right.
Oh,
What?
and real quick,
Real quick.
tattoo parlors have opened up this week, so I can go get my Assassin's Creed Valhalla tattoo.
Open up here pretty soon too.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I just rescheduled my appointment for June 16th. So after June 16th, I will have a couple tattoos to show on the podcast.
Nice.
We don't want to see the tattoos on your testicles, Rick. I'm sorry.
Now look.
He-
Okay.
He has the measuring tape on it, so when it expands, it can show the 2.
Just because you got mad because I showed you my Manscaped testicles the other day does
That would
not
really
mean-
hurt.
I'm sorry.
Anyways.
Ouch. Anyway,
Texas.
I meant the tattoo would hurt if you had it on where you were saying he was going to have it. What are your top 5, Rick?
Okay, so I play a lot of video games, and I mean a lot of video games. So, number 5, the Atari. It was one of those weird
Pong.
ones that I had. Oh, believe me, I played a lot of other things besides that. There was like a Pitfall game. There was a football game that I played.
You're an Xbox, and I'm more like an Atari.
But I liked the Atari. I thought it was a fun, starter game, and as a build on, My number 4 is the NES, the original.
Ooh.
As a kid, I watched my sister play a lot of games, and then I learned to play them too. I liked Excite Bike and Bubble Bobble. Those were my 2 favorite, and then Mario, obviously. Number 3, I got to go with the Nintendo Switch. I changed it up. It was originally Steam.
You switched it up?
I switched it up. I like the Nintendo Switch. I like the fact that you can go from console to handheld. I like all the games on it. They got a lot of classic games that you can pick up. They actually have a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo Classic that you can get if you have the online subscription. And then you can play a bunch of other games on top of that too. So I got
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Because between that, there's like 30, 40 games between them, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I like the Switch. My number 2 is the PlayStation. I honestly could not pick between 1, 3, 4, just because there were so many good games, and a lot of them you can buy now.
But 2 was never an option.
No. Believe me, I've had 1 through 4. It's true. It's true. I've had a PlayStation from the beginning. One of my favorite games is Final Fantasy VII of all time.
Chelsea
in terms
just
of the
bought a
PlayStation.
PS1 a couple weeks ago.
There was a lot of other role-playing games that I got to play, and a lot of the old school ones that I've gotten were originally on the PlayStation. So I just wrote PlayStation.
Nice.
And then my number 1, Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's because it's super.
The Super Nintendo was my all-time favorite, and there was at least 4 of my favorite all-time games on there came from the Super Nintendo. Super Mario RPG was one of my favorites, and that was one of my number 4. You had Earthbound, which was a good one, and it used to come with scratch and sniff cards. That was one of my favorites. Chrono Trigger was my
Josh.
was like my number
He'll be
2
back.
favorite.
He's back.
They flip flop every time.
But of course, my number 1 favorite was Final Fantasy VI. It's how I got my kid's name, Locke. So, had to go with my number 1, Super Nintendo.
You really like my friend Quentin because he is big into video games and has a whole room of all the different video game systems ever made. I mean, it's amazing. He's actually going to be starting a YouTube channel, so I'll let you know so you can watch it.
Hang on a second. Before we keep going, can we pause for a second? I gotta get a cord for my iPad so I don't die.
Go for it.
So at this part, we'll pause and edit things out, right?
No, go
Are
for
you
it.
just gonna
Kidding.
Hey, I don't have pants on, so someone might see something.
All right, I can edit
I
the
don't
audio.
want to see that.
Did you see Chelsea bought
I
a
do not want
PlayStation
to see
1?
your testicles.
Yeah, she had a PS1.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And we just got the converter box so we can convert it to HDMI from our CA cable, so we can play it on the big TV.
Do you remember Crash Bandicoot?
That's the one. That's the
Nice.
one. Yeah, that's the one she got with it.
That's awesome.
Did your memory card ever come?
Oh yeah, I remember those. I don't know if I have any PlayStation 1 games left or not. I have PlayStation 2 games.
I'm really sad that I sold my N64 because I really want to play some GoldenEye and Sarge's Heroes. Those are my 2.
Well, maybe when we go back to Minnesota, Eau Claire area someday, we
There's
can play some at Quentin's.
There was a
I like
rumor that
that.
they were going to do an N64 classic like they did the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo, but I don't know what games they would put on it and how that would work.
Oh, there's a lot of games to choose from 64. It's such a popular system.
I mean, you'd have to assume that they
GoldenEye would have to be on there.
well, it depends if they have the rights to the James Bond games. You would have to assume that Super Mario 64 would be on there. You would have to assume Banjo-Kazooie. See, I don't know if they could do some of the other games just because of the copyright. So I don't know if they could do like
But
a
they're
James
the ones
Bond
that
or-
created the games. Why couldn't they?
Just-
They already had the copyrights to them.
just because of stuff expires, kind of like it's a trademark thing. So just because they did it doesn't mean that they can reuse it. That's why a lot of the times, like Final Fantasy was exclusively for the PlayStation, but because that trademark had went over, Now, like Xbox has a lot of stuff that's exclusively
PlayStation 2, yeah. I'm just kidding. Xbox.
Xbox now has some of the old school stuff. Steam has all the old Final Fantasy games. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about doing that. So, so it's
I
possible.
got the NES Classic Console. That's where the heck I sold my original.
Right.
Myself, but I got the Classic Console.
That's probably
Got
the same
30
reason.
games, I think.
That's like I used to like playing the Friday the 13th game, but you don't see them putting that on the Classic or the NES
Right.
Online. So that's why I'm thinking it could be a trademark thing. So
It's almost time to start talking about Texas.
I don't think he wants to know what we talked about him.
Just waiting for him to put his ears on. Hey, Texas. Hey. How you doing?
He's all flippy.
You flippy floppy.
Ow! Flip flop love. It's time for some flip flop love.
Texas.
We did flip flop love last week.
Texas and the flip flop. Flopping in a box. And Texas. Oh, that's Texas. Sorry. We weren't talking about you.
You look
I don't
like
give a
your
shit.
dad every day. You know that, Josh?
Oh, I was thinking
He looks a lot like his dad.
like a bald Drew Carey.
I'm at the switch.
all right.
It's starting now.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right. Rick, thank you for your top 5, by the way.
You're welcome.
All right, my top 5. Number 5, Nicholas Lidstrom. That's a Red Wing. The N64. So you gotta have the N64 in there. I totally agree. I never actually owned one, but I just remember playing GoldenEye with you guys. I remember us playing like the NHL 98 or 99 or whatever. And I also remember at Nick's house playing Pokemon.
Yes.
Gotta catch 'em all. I specifically remember once we slept in. Well, I slept in because I sleep in, and you guys were like all playing when I woke up.
When we would have our sleepover parties, Justin would be the last to get up.
Yep.
By like 5 hours.
And then they would sometimes shoot rubber band guns at me, and sometimes I'd be awake and just pretend to be asleep just to see what they would do. But usually they were pretty nice. Someone threatened to draw on me once, and I wasn't gonna let that happen.
I think that was me.
I don't know, but yeah. And then number 4, the good old Xbox, the original Xbox. I had
Good one.
I had one of those. I remember how excited I was, and that was the one where a lot of people would come over and we play a lot of the James Bond that I had, the Nightfire, and that's where people could hide out and have the missile launchers, or we play Capture the Flag. Because when it was winter and it was like not cold enough to ice skate and play hockey, but it wasn't warm enough to play roller hockey, we would play James Bond.
We won't say what we called it.
I almost did. And then someone taught me what that word was. I just don't know all this stuff. I don't know how people know all these crazy words.
Bondage.
All right.
We called it bondage.
Yes. I didn't understand.
Let's go play some bondage.
Yeah, I'd be like, we're playing bondage tonight. Mom, can my friends come over to play? Can my friends come over to play some bondage?
Oh, please tell me you said that to your parents.
I probably did. I didn't know it was James Bond. We all call it that, okay?
I remember that, yeah.
Apparently bondage doesn't mean playing video games with James Bond, but I mean
it's your version of it.
Yeah, there we go. So when I say bondage, it's just video gaming. And then number 3 would have to be the Game Boy Advance. Just because those are my favorite portable games. I loved Tetris, actually. That's one of my favorite Game Boy games. Mario was good. Donkey Kong was fun, even though I never made it that far. Pokemon games actually were pretty cool.
Oh, the Pokemon and the color.
And then
Love
Game
them.
Boy Advance had some awesome racing games I really enjoyed. So Game Boy number 3. Number 2, Sega. I actually have a Sega Genesis. And
I forgot to put in there.
Oh, I love Sega Genesis. X-Men Clone Wars, my favorite video game, maybe of all time.
Remember the Sega Channel?
Yep.
I loved that.
I like Sonic games. Aladdin, another great one. But Sega Genesis. Like I said, my friend Quentin, who's big into video games, was nice enough to find one for me. So I actually have a Sega. And then my favorite video game system would have to be the PlayStation 3. And I'm talking about the original one. The one I literally got it like 12, 13 years ago, I think, on a Meyer credit card. You got 10% off for signing up, plus another 10% for using your card, and it was already on sale. So I got a great deal on it. And this is the backwards compatible, so it plays PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 games.
That was the best one.
And it looks nice. It's not like the cheap plastic, but it's the shiny plastic with the chrome. And I even got a cooling device for it because they used to overheat, so I have an actual cooler on it. And knock on wood, to this day, it's my only Blu-ray player, and the thing works great. So I've had it for 13 years at least.
I've had mine for 14. So
yeah, they're impressive. So that's my favorite one right there. The original PS3. This one's 60 gigs.
And I overpaid mine because at the time it was one of those ones where you couldn't find it, so GameStop was price gouging.
I tell you.
Sounds like a GameStop thing.
Because I paid like $575 for mine and the controller and stuff. It was crazy.
So that is the top 5. I wonder what my favorite PS3 game would be. Maybe that'll be for another day.
That'll be another topic.
So, but you know what? It's time to talk cop talk. And now, it's time for cop talk. Ugh, tasers hurt. Hurt so bad.
Do you know
sound
that?
like a pleasureful whisper.
You ever see the movie Battleship?
I played the game.
I did. They end up using
After,
the USS Missouri to win at the end.
after a guy gets tased, he's like, "I got tased. Those things actually work." Every time I hear that, I expect to hear that at the end instead of the tasers hurt. Sorry, go ahead, B.
Well, let's start with an update on Mr. Floyd from Minnesota. We're going to stick away from the riots because, well, we're not going to talk about that. But we are going to talk about what happened to the officers. The first officer that kneeled on his neck, Chauvin, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He was originally charged with murder 3, but it's now been up to murder 2, which is good for them because he deserves it.
Yep.
All the other 3 officers have been charged with an accessory.
Yay. Good.
For those that don't know cop talk, are you able to tell the difference between 3 and 2 to maybe our audience?
It's Minnesota law. I don't know Minnesota law. Michigan does not have a 3.
Yeah, third-degree murder in Minnesota is like manslaughter in Michigan. So that's where it's considered an accident. You didn't intend
Because
to
in
kill
Michigan,
them.
murder 1 is premeditated.
Yep.
2 is murder not premeditated.
Yep, that's what theirs is.
And then you have voluntary manslaughter, which is basically like in the heat of passion, which basically means you come in, you see somebody cheating, you kill the guy. So that's the heat of passion. You have involuntary, you did something stupid that killed somebody.
I think involuntary,
Michigan's.
I was reading, is Minnesota's third-degree murder.
And then Michigan has felony murder too, which you kill somebody during the commission of a felony.
Oh, okay. But yeah, second-degree murder sounded like it fit. First, as much as everyone wants it to, doesn't fit because it's not like he woke up that day and decided.
Okay, so we have murder 3 charge. Here's a definition. The exact statutory definition of third-degree murder is the unlawful killing of a human being when perpetrated without any design to effect death by a person engaged in the perpetration of or in the attempt to perpetrate any felony other than 19 enumerated categories of felonies. That's a lot of things. That's the Minnesota definition.
Minnesota, eh?
Minnesota. Yeah, and the other 3 were accessory. The Asian guy, Tao, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the one of the 3 that deserves to have the most because he's the one that sat there and kept the crowd back from helping that guy. And the other 2 behind, they're young, they were new, and they're actually, you go by their backstories, like they're military veterans. They would travel around the world. They'd go to different third world countries and help teach and raise those populations that were poor. So they were actually decent people. And one of them actually came up to Chauvin on 2 separate occasions and basically said, I think we should roll him over on his back. And Chauvin, who had his knee on his neck, said, no, we don't need to do that. And then that same other officer came back again and says, I think we need to do something. I'm worried about excited delirium. And Chauvin said, that's why we're sitting on him on his stomach. So basically the other cops that were charged, one of them tried to stop it. But I don't know if they were just intimidated by the grouchy veteran cop that was a dumbass or what, but he still did not stop it.
No,
So there's still something there that he needs to be charged with because you're required. You stop it. You see someone breaking the law, you stop it.
yep.
That's your sworn duty.
It'll be interesting to see how it all. I'm for sure the cop that did the murder will definitely go away for something.
All I can say is, whoever the jury is and stuff, they better get a guilty verdict, or this country's gonna burn.
I will say that shout out to the Detroit Police Department, and I feel like they've done at least in our state of Michigan here, they've done a really good job. Compared to other protests and riots in other cities, Detroit's done a good job of keeping things contained. And also when people are being peaceful, they've let them march and even joined them. So I thought that was kind of cool.
And I got to give props to the cops that join in.
I know. I've seen a lot in Michigan, at least.
Because, you're not going to find a cop out there that thinks Chauvin was right. Every cop out there wants that guy to burn.
In Grand Rapids, the chief actually sat in with them, and he said, I want to help make things right. What can I do? And then they did the 9 minutes of I Can't Breathe, and all the cops were involved. And it's cool to see the communities and the cops actually coming together and walking together.
Yep. And
versus in some other states where you see them, almost going at war with each other. So
and cops are taking off their riot gear and joining in. They did the kneeling for the 9 minutes that he knelt on his neck. So what they did, it's pretty good what they did.
So I like that some communities are.
So they're doing peaceful, and they're actually community policing, which is the way policing should be nowadays.
Yep.
Because you need the help from your community. That's part of it. Yes, you police the community, but the community also polices itself, and they come to you with that knowledge when they have to need you. So that's how it works.
How it should be. Every person, and that's where, obviously things need to change because everyone should feel comfortable going to a cop for help.
Yeah, as long as the media stops spewing lies about stuff.
So what else you got, though? Thanks for the update.
All right, yeah, so that's the update with that, and we'll give another update whenever something comes out. It might be a while. Who knows when trials are going to occur, and trials are not going to occur there because the courthouse will burn down or something.
Interesting to see how it all works.
So they'll probably do some neutral jurisdiction to try it. That's usually what they'll do.
Okay.
But on a funny note, let's go back to some stupid laws that are still on the books here.
Stupid laws.
I might have a repeat from last week because I didn't cross everything off.
Stupid laws again.
But let's go to the great stoner state of Colorado.
It is a cool state, actually, just so you know.
You can't lend your vacuum to your neighbor.
Oh, no, definitely. Felony, probably, right? 911, what? He lent the vacuum to the neighbor.
What? We're on our way.
What are you in for? I lent the vacuum to the neighbor. Oh my gosh, what were you thinking? I can't be in the same cell with this guy.
Does that turn into a hostage situation? All right, sir, what are your demands? We know you have the vacuum cleaner. You have the vacuum cleaner.
We're going to send in the robot.
The Roomba.
Send the Roomba in. But there's stairs.
Why did there have to be stairs?
It stopped at the top.
Stop vacuuming up that damn circle.
That's a funny law.
Also out of Colorado. This had to have been written by stoners. Somebody was high. It's illegal to let your cat walk at night without taillights. They put lights on a cat's butt.
Don't worry about that cat. That cat has a tail. Oh, but that one. Just get that straight. That's illegal walking at night.
No.
Hey, that cat's got a tail light out. We should have pulled it over.
Meow. Meow, meow.
Do you know why I pulled you over?
Cat, do you know why I pulled you over? Meow.
Do you know why I pulled you over, Meow?
Listen here, Meow.
Driver's license registration, right? Meow.
What do you think is funny? You think I'm saying meow? You think Mimbly Bimbly?
Do I look like a cat to you?
I'm sorry. I'm
Picturing a guy.
I'm picturing a guy with little Christmas lights that are battery operated. Listen, Mittens, I got to put these on you if you're going outside, okay? Just hold still.
Mittens.
Safety first.
You don't need a headlight, though.
No,
Because the
just a
eyes
tail light.
glow.
Do you think when the cat slows down, the lights have to get lighter?
I don't know. Tail lights
brake
have
lights?
brake lights too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If only that cat had a turn signal. Shit.
In Idaho, it's illegal to fish off the back of a camel.
Do
Did you
they
say
have
in
lots
Idaho?
of camels in Idaho?
Who the fuck has a camel in Idaho?
Well,
Then why are they fishing
They
on
better
that
not be
camel?
fishing off of it.
Also in Idaho, it is illegal to eat people unless
What?
it's absolutely necessary.
Well, there's no more
When is
chicken
it
at the store. We're
necessary to
eating
eat
Eddie.
people.
Well, with Corona, I just didn't feel comfortable going to the store, and I was starving. So
I went to the store and they're out of meat. So
Ned was right here.
it doesn't say if you eat them if they have to be dead to eat them because it's already unlawful to murder, right?
Hang on, we're just gonna hock off a leg and we're gonna put it over the fire.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ned's still alive. We actually gave him part of his leg.
And
I tell you what, tastes like chicken that dead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hill people of Kentucky
I always wanted a peg.
or in Idaho. And in Vermont, they want you to be really clean
Okay,
for Sunday.
that makes sense.
It is illegal to not bathe on a Saturday. So you must bathe on Saturday
Oh.
so you don't stink for Sunday Mass.
But I sweat at night sometimes. It's probably better for me to do Sunday morning. I mean, I guess I could do both. I do most
You
days.
still have to do it Saturday.
Yep.
Rick has a law that he wants to share.
Oh, yay.
All right, Rick, share your law.
All right. In Delaware, it is a misdemeanor to sell, barter, or offer the fur of a domestic dog or cat.
Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil.
If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will.
Oh, let's go back to Vermont.
I've actually
It
never
is
been there.
illegal for a woman to own false teeth without the man's permission.
Woman, did you get that teeth without my permission?
I wanted a gum job.
Where'd you get them teeth from, sister?
Oh, what else? I don't know if I said any of these last week.
If you did, that's okay.
You've been good so far.
Well, those are the new ones that we just learned. Credit, Officer Udy.
All right, UD.
He from North Carolina.
UD man.
Yeah. Oh, we did the sex with a cow.
We didn't do it.
We told you about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Washington. It's illegal to carry a fishbowl or aquarium on a bus because slashing of water may disturb the passengers.
Okay. Interesting.
I'd be more worried about the water spilling.
That's true.
And that is today's Weird Laws still on the books.
All right. I like it.
And now,
That's good shit.
Time for his review of the week.
All right. I want to talk about a movie so bad that it's good. I want to talk about the 1989 No Holds Barred starring Hulk Hogan and Tiny Lister.
I don't think I've seen that movie. Tell me about
neither.
this.
Let me know.
What's that smell?
That is my favorite line from the movie.
Oh, I thought
I know that line.
I know
I was about to
that.
say, you can't smell us, Josh.
I know that smell.
All right. So there was a movie in 1989 called No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan and Tiny Lister. If you don't know who Tiny Lister is, watch the movie Friday. Debo.
Okay.
Shout out to Debo. Anyways, so in the movie, Hulk Hogan is a professional wrestler, and this television company is trying to get Hulk Hogan's character to join their network, but he doesn't want to do it. So Burrell comes up with this idea, the Battle of the Tough Guys, where they meet Zeus, played by Tiny Lister.
Does he throw lightning bolts?
No, but he runs through some guys, and then he decides that he wants to challenge Rip, that's Hulk Hogan's character, to a match. Finally, he agrees after he hurts his brother. And they do it in the Battle of the Tough Guys ring, which looks like an octagon. Some stuff happens. There's a lot of comedy in it, a lot of action. And of course, my favorite line, the limousine. Hulk Hogan getting stuck, jumping out, beating up a bunch of guys, grabbing the limo driver and going, "What's that smell? Dookie. Dookie." Man. For most people, that movie wouldn't hold up. For me, cult classic. I recommend it. I think you can watch it on Hulu if you really want to watch it. I'm giving that a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, 70%.
70%.
That would be
That "what's
maybe.
that smell" line is almost iconic as Rowdy Piper's "I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum."
Oh, that means he's here to kick ass then. So, all right. Thank you for that review. And guess what? I've scoured the internet for some tweets. Tweet.
I think that might be a clip of that monkey that was attacking that girl's leg last week.
It could be.
You know, I'm starting to wonder if
That's my monkey sound for tweets of the week.
it's because we're
That's
about to be flinging some shit here.
The dirty
Take it
aboo.
away, James.
The first couple were one was from Darla. She said, "Despite a valiant effort put forth by my dog from our living room window, our neighbor has once again successfully entered his own home." It reminds me of my brother's dog. He'll bark at someone across the street that's going into their own house. Or
That's what our dog does.
Felicia says, "I just realized why I don't look good in pictures anymore. It's my face." That's how I feel sometimes. Unless it's hammock pictures with the sunset.
Are you on the bottom and her on top?
And then, of course, I always like to mainly look to see. It's good to know like what are our politicians running for president, our current president, thinking, right? So Joe Biden, he had a very simple tweet. He says, "Enough." That was it. I'm not 100% sure what he was referring to. Maybe he was watching TV and he had enough, or
He had a dementia episode. He had no idea.
yeah, or maybe he had his wife there and he's like, "Enough." Or he was eating food and then he's like, "Enough," but enough. He had enough. So, and then he actually had some inspirational stuff. I'll give Mr. Biden some credit. He said, "If we stand together, we will rise stronger than before. A more equal, more just, more hopeful nation. Closer to that more perfect union we must always strive to be." Oh, good job, Joe. And then he also said, "We are at our best when we open our hearts, not when we clench our fists." And I will agree with that as well. Now, not to be outdone, our President Donald Trump decided that he wanted to tweet something really simple too. And he just tweeted, "Law and order." Now, I'm not sure like if he turned the TV on and he's like, "It's law and order. I'm going to let everyone know what I'm watching."
Criminal
Like-
intent.
Is it Law and Order? Like, what is he watching? Like Law and Order? Is it SVU or is it just
Criminal
normal?
Intent.
Yeah, like
Speaking of Law and Order, did you know that the British Law and Order, they actually wear the powdered wigs in court? I thought that was fucking amazing.
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Do it.
I'm just waiting for like his next tweet to be like, "The Price is Right." Jeopardy.
Price is right, bitch.
he just puts out tweets he's watching.
Let's make a deal.
American
Deal or
Ninja
no deal.
Warrior.
And then, of course, there's a Republican, I don't know, senator or congressperson from Alaska who's kind of been talking bad about Trump. And I don't know if you guys know this, but he doesn't like when people talk bad about him. So, and she's going to be coming up for re-election. And here's what Trump said. "Few people know where they'll be in 2 years from now, but I do. In the great state of Alaska, which I love, campaigning against Senator Lisa Murkowski. She voted against health care, Justice Kavanaugh, and much else. ... Unrelated. I gave Alaska ANWR, major highways and more. Get any candidate ready, good or bad. I don't care. I'm endorsing. If you have a pulse, I'm with you. I can't believe he said-
Okay, question.
He loves the ... dots.
He does. I don't.
Dot.
Okay, question. He said ANWR. Does that stand for A&W root beer?
I have no idea, but apparently there weren't highways in Alaska until he came around. But I just like, he's literally saying, I don't care who you have run. I don't care if it's a 12-year-old. As long as the person has a pulse, I will endorse them.
Dot, 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 dot.
He doesn't have a pulse. Just use CPR, bring him back, and I'll endorse. So, and then also apparently James Mattis, who is on his staff, gave his letter of resignation, but Trump doesn't like to admit that kind of stuff because he's Trump apprentice. You're fired. He fires people, right? I almost did the Arnold.
Did you,
like,
you're
you're fired.
fired in the Arnold voice.
I almost did. Well, remember Arnold actually was the host for 1 year of The Apprentice.
Yeah.
That was,
Sure.
and when people would leave, he'd tell them, "You're fired. Get to the chopper," and they'd leave in a helicopter.
The chopper.
But so here's what Donald said. The problem with asking for someone to give you a letter of resignation, which you do as a courtesy to help save face, is that it is then harder to say you fired them. I did fire James Mattis. He was no good for Obama, who fired him also, and was no good for me.
Now, don't you think if Obama fired him the first time, maybe I shouldn't bring him back?
I know. I was thinking that too.
You're fired by one president. Let's give you a second chance.
I thought maybe Obama was just full of shit, but now I realize he was right.
He was
God damn
right.
it.
Now, let him give me a letter of resignation to save face, but I'm not going to let him save face because I'm telling you I fired him.
Fair enough.
And then he had one more tweet from Mr. Trump. The radical left Democrats' new theme is defund the police. Remember that when you don't want crime, especially against you and your family. This is where Sleepy Joe is being dragged by the socialists. I am the complete opposite. More money for law enforcement. Hashtag law and order. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hashtag Price is Right.
The price is wrong, Bob.
And then I always like to end with a tweet of inspiration by my man Arnold. This is what Arnold has to say. I still believe that we are the greatest country in the world, but we are at our best when we look in the mirror, face our demons, and cast a way to become a little better every day.
I like Arnold.
I know. He's awesome.
Have you seen the Fluffy skit with Arnold yet?
I don't think I have to look it up still.
Iglesias.
I'll look that up still. I should probably write it down so I remember. I'm just gonna write fluffy skit.
Yeah.
Is that fluffy? Fluffy skit. But I don't know. Arnold's always really positive.
Of all of us, Josh has the clearest camera. I
Oh.
have the least clears.
Does he really? Oh, he does. I can see all of his sweat on his brow from here. I just Are you a little red? A little red?
You watching me at work?
Did you get
Creeper.
Did you get sunburn?
Wouldn't doubt it. I'm outside a lot.
Ah. You just need to use some suntan lotion. S100. Wait, no.
He puts the lotion on the skin.
And now-
Those again.
Oh. It's the lock. He loves his daddy.
It's the lock who loves his dad. Law and Order.
And earlier we had the Violet who loves her
Big
daddy.
Bang Theory.
Hashtag Law and Order. Big Bang Theory.
But you know,
Damn it.
Hashtag Young Sheldon.
you know what?
Do you know what? I started watching Game of Thrones accidentally, and it's amazing.
About damn time one of you watches it. Jeez.
I'm already through the first season, and it's great. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh,
Now when you get
Did
to
you get it all in before it got off of HBO or whatever?
Yes,
it was
that is why I accidentally started watching Game of Thrones, because in the last season, HBO got off Amazon, so I went to do the free week trial to finish, and I forgot, and it renewed, and I'm like, well, I paid for it. I'm going to start watching Game of Thrones, and it is good. So,
About
President
damn
Trump, if
time.
you're listening, you should stop Law and Order and watch Game of Thrones. So,
Somebody add our podcast tag to his Twitter account.
there we go. All right, but you know what time it is?
It's the Urban Dictionary definition of the week. Take it away, Texas.
All right, Jay Hizzle. I found this one specifically for you because of the Facebook video I tagged you in earlier.
Oh, wait, I got to think. You take me in a video. Is that through the alligators?
Can you tell me what an alligator fuckhouse is?
Yeah?
What's an alligator fuckhouse?
Well, that almost seems too obvious. So, but you know how people in Florida, they have alligator problems? Like the video he sent me was a lady was at home and there were two alligators that were they were like fighting each other.
On her front doorstep.
Yeah. And it's because alligators fight when they have sexual tension. Right? It makes sense. And so what people do, what was the term again?
Alligator fuckhouse.
Yeah, so what people do is they build those in their backyard because they don't want angry alligators outside, right? And so the alligators then that have the sexual tension go into this alligator house, and then they make baby alligators as they screw each other, and that's why they call it the alligator house.
Alligator what?
Now look, you said fuck like 2 episodes ago. Just say it. Fuck
I
house.
know.
Fuck
And then you
house.
put it, and then you the alligator house.
Okay, I'll accept that one.
So was that right?
Okay. Alligator fuckhouse. A daring sexual maneuver. Mid-coitus. One person bites the neck of the other, locks their arms and legs down, and goes into a death roll. All while maintaining insertion.
That's what the alligators do.
That is skill.
No, I was right, guys. I was right. That's the alligators doing in the house.
Yeah, but that's about people, not about alligators.
Are you sure? Did it explicitly say people, alligators?
It did say people, yes.
Okay. It's Chelsea over there wants to know what alligator sex is.
Come here, Josh will read it to you. Come here, you gotta put my earphones on. He can read it to you.
All right, let me go back to it.
Monkey style, but alligator style is new to me.
Captain Beaslow is going to be trying alligator style. All right, Texas,
Wow.
read it.
Okay. Alligator fuckhouse is a daring sexual maneuver. Mid-coitus, one person bites the neck of the other, locks their arms and legs down, and goes into a death roll, all while maintaining insertion.
Fuck that. All I gotta say. He's trying to do it.
Aww.
And look,
Sorry, Brian. No.
In case that didn't make the audio, he said he's doing that himself.
I'm so sorry.
Easier to maintain insertion that way.
But now, someone
What
else
did Captain Beaslow just get that blow up alligator for? Well,
When Josh is here for the wedding, I'm gonna get a blow up alligator in my car or in my room or something.
it's gonna,
Justin got the midget. So.
If Justin got the midget, I get the alligator.
All right, but you know what? Now it's time to see how stupid we all really are, because it's the bonus Urban Dictionary definition of the week. Take it away, Texas.
All right. For this one, I'm going to do what the
Monkey
two
food.
gentlemen on the Space Force X, whatever, did.
Doug and
What's
Bob?
What is abandoned ship?
Oh, abandoned ship. Who's gonna
Justin,
start
you
with
must
Rick?
go last.
Rick Spade, you go first.
Abandoned ship.
Abandoned ship.
Well, obviously, there's two definitions I want to use. It's going to be
Do them both. Might as well.
Do them both.
So,
Mom, close your ears.
abandoned ship is when two guys decide to dock with each other, and then midway they're like, "I think I'm going to come," so they abandon ship, and they undock.
Okay, that's interesting. Actually, it was similar to an idea I had, but I was going in a different direction slightly.
So, the other one is when you're going at it and you got the condom on, and it just kind of slips off and stays inside the crater there, and you just kind of abandoned ship.
I don't think.
No, remember that one was a accidental bookmark.
Oh, I thought that was snake skin shedding.
I think we got a new definition.
Yep.
Take it away, Be Slow.
Oh my goodness. Abandoned ship. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a toughie. It's a hard one.
Did that help?
If it helps you, it's not a sexual thing in any way.
Oh, I fucked that up.
Oh.
You spoiled it for everybody.
I was trying to help you.
Oh, it's not a sexual thing. It's abandoned ship.
Okay. I got ideas.
See, now I have to think of a whole nother one because I was going to do a sexual thing.
Well, then do a sexual thing.
No, go ahead.
Because I was going to think is what it is, you're going down on this girl and suddenly, so it's your first time. You just met her, you went to the bar. You're both like, woo. And then suddenly she says, I'm pregnant. And you're like, abandoned ship.
That's so terrible. But I'm not saying that's just your definition.
I don't know.
I have two definitions, I think.
Go ahead.
The first will be, obviously, it's Urban Dictionary. So I was thinking too, like, there's probably some sexual thing because Urban Dictionary terms seem to be like not appropriate, right? So I was thinking it's maybe during a 3 or foursome, and
Orgy.
an orgy, yeah, sure. And so someone there had too much pizza to eat, and
Justin speaks from experience.
no, I don't speak from experience. And so they're in the orgy, and someone's like, "Oh, I don't feel good. I think I'm going to throw up." And then someone yells, "Abandoned ship!" And everyone dives off the bed.
Don't fall to bed, right, Charles?
And that's how Justin ruined the orgy.
And then the other one, like what maybe it really could be, is when a bunch of people are on a speedboat, right? And they're all like on drugs, and all of a sudden the sheriff boat comes up, and that's where everyone's like throws their weed, and they're like, abandoned ship, and everyone just dives into the water and tries to swim away from the sheriff.
Just weed?
It could be shrooms. It could be, I don't know. It could be a sucker or like Kit Kat bar. I don't know. So the pop brownie. Shrooms? Speed?
The sheriff's come and throw the Snickers overboard.
Fuck. Our lollipop's illegal. Toss it overboard.
I'm supposed to be on a diet.
Hide the bacon. We killed his own kind.
So anyway, were any of us right?
No.
Were we close?
No.
Oh, what? One of these times,
Abandoned ship. When you exceed the capacity of the toilet when taking a shit or with toilet paper, and you can't flush anymore, and at the risk of taking on water, you must evacuate to the next stall to finish wiping.
what happens if you're at home though? Then you got to plunge that thing.
Yeah, you do.
I guess you're squatting over the bathtub. I don't know.
Or Justin, you just cut it with a knife.
It was the pooper cutter. It was special just for that. There's nothing
Okay,
worse
then.
than when like you poop and you still have to go and you're like, I want to flush this down first, and then it starts clogging and you're like, what do? I need more. Has to come out. You can't, and there's no other ship to it. You can't abandon ship when there's one bathroom.
After that knife cut our poop, did it get used on food?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
So you'll
No, I don't want to know the story.
It happened to me and Nick both. Okay.
It happened
At
to
Justin's
everyone.
parents' house, they had a little bathroom in the downstairs in the basement.
I
Still
remember the
there.
little
It's not the
bathroom.
basement one. It's the main floor one.
No, it was the basement
Oh,
one.
you did that one too. That one's a little harder. You've done the main floor as well. Everyone has done the main floor.
It doesn't like to flush. So when they would get stuck, I mean, they're like whole turds. It's not going down. So they had this knife. It was designated to cut.
Yep.
So when it would flush, you'd have to go and you'd have to cut the turd.
There's the
with
water
knife.
saver toilets in there. Are you really saving water when you have to flush every turd and toilet paper separate? But remember, my mom sometimes be like, "Why doesn't Brian take poops at his own house?" I don't know, Mom.
I have, and then when I'd plug at my house where I grew up, you plug the toilet, and the turds would be like so hard, and then they would shoot up at you.
Mom, at his house, the turds attack back. We give him a weapon to fight him off with, so that's why he likes to be here.
Ooh.
I'm just curious. Is that the same toilet at your house now that is at Jay's mom and dad's? Because that would explain a lot. Do you need one of those poop cutting knives?
Where I live now, the toilets flush just fine.
Okay.
Mine
Sure.
here
I mean, I
is
still plug it,
pretty
but
good.
the plunger works just fine on it.
The
And
best-
it doesn't attack back.
the best toilet I ever had was in my house in Wisconsin. Of the 6 years, it plugged once. That's it. It was almost
Was it me?
No, it was me, but I think it was too much toilet paper. It was really easy to unplug. And it was like one of those ones that suck things down. It's just like,
Don't you love it when you're wiping and you keep wiping? You're like, what am I doing? Wiping a Hershey bar here? And then you plug the toilet.
well, that's when I get adult wet wipes. They're amazing. I have them. Oh, I might have some in my pocket. No,
Are you planning on wiping your ass during this podcast or what?
I was worried.
You see Justin going,
I can't stand this shit. I just gotta.
Well, because I was going to the open house, and so my daily scheduled crap couldn't take place here. So I did it at work. So I had, you never know, like, is it going to be messy or not. So I put some of those in my pocket, and then I realized I remember taking them out. I must have, though.
People have 800 followers for this.
we have
No,
800
views.
followers? Views. Total.
800 views for this.
Isn't it
Showing
funny?
off.
This is funny.
Why haven't you subscribed yet, Chelsea? You should.
Are you listening to yourselves?
It's great.
Yes, we listen to ourselves. We'll get her to subscribe yet.
Oh, everyone but Brian listens to the show.
So much going on with nursing school.
So much going on. You can listen to us in the car. You can listen to us from afar. You can listen to us here. You can listen to us there.
You can listen to us anywhere. You can listen to us in a box. You can listen to us with a fox.
All right. Well, I think we're reaching the end here.
Yeah, it is the end. The end.
Well, I got some words of wisdom
I got a few.
from the great Martin Luther King Jr. I feel like his words are needed now. He said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And I really like that. That makes
like
a
that.
lot of sense.
I like that.
So instead of, I know there's a lot of different opinions on how things should be handled. There's a lot of anger and hate out there. Even though everyone pretty much agrees on the same thing, but how to get there and other details they don't. But just remember, instead of hating someone that maybe has different view than you, still learn to love them, learn to understand them. Don't be hateful.
Yeah, and don't be quick to call him a racist.
Yeah, I got a few. I'm going next. I got 3.
All right.
They're, of course, they're all from my hero, Abraham Lincoln.
I thought
As
you were going to say me.
As you noticed,
kidding.
I've done Abraham Lincoln every week.
I like
except for
Abe.
the first week when I said, don't get stung by murder.
Yep.
But those who look for the bad in people will surely find it. So instead, you think, I don't like that man. I must get to know him better.
I like that a lot.
And on
actually.
another one, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. I figured all 3 of those are kind of relevant to kind of what's going on.
I agree. I really like that one though about if you look for the bad in someone, you're gonna find the bad in someone.
Mhm.
I always try to find the good in people, and I usually do. Sometimes people make fun of me. They're like, "You can find the good in anyone," but I think that's a good thing because when you find the good in people, sometimes you can help them bring it out too. And that's what we should be doing instead of this person posted this. Oh, you effing effer. Try to understand it. Maybe if you think they're wrong, just be nice and explain your side. And maybe they might be like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. I don't know. That's my opinion.
All right. I actually got two. So, first one's going to come from one of my favorite rappers and TV personalities, LL Cool J.
Oh, I thought Eminem.
No. Dreams don't have deadlines.
Great.
A couple of years ago, he ended up going to Harvard Business School. Meanwhile, doing his acting career. And it really made me think. And that was one of the reasons why I started working on my book and stuff. So, it's never too late. So dreams don't have deadlines. And the second one that I have, I'm not sure who actually wrote it. A friend of mine gave it to me on Facebook. And what she sent to me was, sometimes your worst enemy is your own memory. Let that shit go. And I think
It's easier said
I like
than done,
that.
but that's true.
I think that's something good. I think that's a life lesson that I'm trying to work on. I've had a lot of stuff that's happened, and sometimes my memory is my worst enemy. So, you just got to remember to let that shit go, and hopefully things will get better for you.
Let go. If you're mad at yourself, you got to forgive yourself. And,
That's really hard sometimes.
this is very unrelated, but I was looking at the camera and I realized that my mom just gave me a haircut. My head's really shiny. It really reflects the light.
Let that shit go.
I will. I'm proud. Baldness is a sign of intelligence. I'm happy with it.
What do you got for us, Texas?
All right, I have two as well. Again, I don't know who they're from because I just kind of find them on Pinterest and stuff like that. This one kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week with bullying and when you worry about what other people think about you and stuff like that. Your life isn't yours if you always care what other people think.
I like
Ooh,
that.
that's very
deep.
true.
That's good.
And then the second one, when you're just down and you don't feel like yourself, take a deep breath and remember who the fuck you are.
Ooh, I like that one too. Good.
I
That's all I got.
Good words of wisdom.
All right. So, if that is everything we have for today,
Oh, that is the show.
thank you for joining us at the Poddamn Idiotz podcast. Please subscribe and share our YouTube page and like our episodes and videos at the Poddamn Idiotz podcast. And please like, subscribe, and download our show at the Poddamn Idiotz podcast on Podbean, Apple, Google, Spotify, iTunes, Podchaser. Give us a 5-star review and share with your friends, family, the creepy neighbor, your pastor, even though you'll get banned from church, your mom's hot friend, your crush, your friend with benefits, your bank teller, a stripper, your bartender, the person who is looting your house and stealing your TV, the peaceful protester who is kneeling on the street, and the police officer who is protecting everybody. Shout it on the streets and tell your TikTok followers to check out the Poddamn Idiotz podcast. You can tweet us at Poddamn Ricksbait, at Poddamn Texas, at Poddamn Idiotz P1, and our email is poddammidiots podcast@outlook.com.